I don't know if I'm going to post this. I'm just going to discuss this, but a long time ago, I had I had a bad childhood. Um, it wasn't pleasant at all. And I had a conversation at a very young age with God where I guess you could say I kind of got in his face and said, "Look, I need to see something different. I need to see something. Why am I going through all of this, basically?" And um, I really put my trust in what I felt I heard. And throughout my life, I was told to literally ignore that voice. And I did. And I found myself in bad positions. So, many years back, I decided to start listening to that voice. And during that time, we were very active in a church. We were very active in the church. And we, we we went through so many changes and so many adjustments. But while we were going through church, one of the things that was being preached is, oh, we live by faith, we don't live by feelings. And I started questioning that because I was starting to realize a lot of different feelings that I keep and have kept ignoring my whole life. So I started doing some digging, and one of the first things I did was I really started studying the Bible. And I really got deep into it. And what caused me to do that was I had a confrontation with a pastor where I questioned something he was preaching, which was not inaccurate, but in the context in which he was preaching it, I questioned it. Because according to the research that I was doing, he wasn't on the up and up. And he knew, apparently, that I was getting into dangerous areas in my studies. During my studies, I've learned one thing. I have never met a Christian who has actually studied the Bible. I've met ex-Christians who've studied the Bible, but I've never met a Christian who's studied the Bible. And I could end this video right there on that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go a little bit deeper, because I didn't just start studying the Bible. Because once I started studying the Bible, and you're all sitting, don't sit there and think, oh, I took one book. No, I started studying multiple translations, read each one of them cover to cover. The studies I did was insane. But then I started questioning the actual context of how the Bibles were put together, what books were decided upon to be put in the Bible, and the multiple Bibles, because we have not just the different translations of the secular 66 book Christian Bible, but you also have the 83 book um, Catholic Bible, and then you have like there's like 92 to 96 books in the Ethiopian Bible. So there's like multiple books out there, and there are books that are not incorporated in any of those, and they're in apocryphas all themselves, but they've all got divinely inspired information in them, all of them. And it just depends on where you are in the world, really, as to what books you're going to be getting and reading from, and what your religious background is. There's so many of those. But I started actually studying like the histories of the Bibles. And that's a rabbit hole that I don't recommend anybody go down. Do not research the history of the actual Bible. You will be so disheartened if you do. And that's all I've got to say on that subject. But one of the other aspects of it was there's always been these religious icons who have inspired people. To do good things. I mean, to be good people. And of course, they were exploited, and their teachings have been manipulated and exploited in different rights all throughout history. But they all had something that intrigued me. They all had a desire to get to know the creator of everything and what that means. And the dive in that rabbit hole, I do recommend. What did Jesus study? First off, when you go down the rabbit hole, you'll find out that that was definitely not his name. And what his name actually means when you are saying it in the Jesus aspect. Again, the rabbit holes are pretty deep, and I can get lost on them very easy. Trying to stay on topic is really hard. But because I was on the same quest of getting to know the creator and everything, and know that it's not possible, but it is, but it isn't, but it's more than what I ever learned in church, any church. And I was raised in church. There's another rabbit hole. But I do suggest going down the rabbit holes of your religious icons, whether it's Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or any of them. What were they studying? Study what they were studying. Because any of the religious books that are out there, those are the cliff notes of their studies. You're not getting the full information at all. So study what they studied. Jesus wasn't a stupid man. He studied all over the region. He learned under some very prestigious teachings and teachers of his time. And the information's out there. and it opens up another huge Pandora's box once you start diving into all of that.